Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. I hope you're doing okay. We're still waiting for those in class to arrive. So talk amongst yourselves. Hello, Sue. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Kate. Hello, Diane. It's grotty here. What's it like where you are? Also grotty, probs. Halfway through the week and the second day of March. Oh, it's my mum's birthday.
Oh, happy.
How old would Mothership be? 78. Would have been my mum's 78th today. 2nd to the 3rd, 44. She was born. Grey. Oh, what a grey day. Oh, I'd forgotten that. How silly. I've forgotten my mum's birthday. It's because it was only the other day. It was my dad's birthday and I forgot how close they are together. Well, I never.
And your dad would have been, what, 80?
Well, Dad would have been 80 on Saturday, yeah. Well. I could hear Sandra, but no, not yet. Grey and cold. Hello, Pat. Ah, thanks, Sue. She didn't really do birthdays as such, but I can't believe I forgot. We had a lovely gouache class this morning. I'll show you what that was. Look at that. Painted on blue-grey card. Really enjoyed doing that. Sue says hello.
Hello, Sue.
Now, you may or may not enjoy today. I will. But I've got a feeling some of you might struggle. I bet that's tech support needed.
Anything else,
Hello, Rosemary. I nearly called you hello. Sorry. Gosh. Never mind.
Have you joined the group? Okay. Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me have a look and see if you're in the group.
Okay.
Your name was Julia.
So we're just waiting.
Just
I'm just waiting for our real life.
Page worked. Okay, no worries, good. Oh, no worries. Okay, bye.
Well, I think, if I'm honest, some of you will struggle with this way of doing it, but it's the best way I can think to get delicacy. Sorry, you know me, I'm honest. Not honest enough to put it at the start of when I post the reference image, of course. I'll wait till you've all paid and turned up before I tell you won't enjoy it. But it is a nice. Hello, Norman. It's a nice lesson, and it'll be something different. You'll want to find some graphite powder if you've got some, or use a graphite stick. You will learn something one way or the other. That's very true. I like that. But that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about learning. I was chatting to a couple this morning about the classes. It's okay, Jackie's bragging because they stuck their head in the classroom and they really liked the abstract paintings in here. Guess who painted the abstract paintings in here? Jackie. And I don't think I'll ever get told enough how much they preferred her paintings to mine. Rosemary, you haven't paid yet. I know where you live. No, it is nice. It's something that I think some of you will have done this method before. Oh, you didn't think you'd enjoy the Queen, but you did. I've got to say, everybody did a cracking job of the Queen. And last week's Peace Lilies. Really, really lovely stuff. Jackie's going to go home now.
Well, in a minute. I'm launching for a minute.
Boo! 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 Been very quiet today on the shop front, hasn't it?
Extreme, but the weather is
Dire.
dire.
Very sad. Thank you, Jackie. Bye bye. Put me sign up that says clear off. No, it just says I'm working upstairs. Ring the bell on the till. Ding ding. Well, I don't know where my in-source students are because they're not turned up yet. And it's 5 past. But it gives everyone a chance to settle down. Are you sitting comfortably? Sad news about the writer, author and illustrator Shirley Hughes of the children's books of Alfie and Dogger. She passed away this morning. In her 90s, I believe. A lovely lady. But sad news. Maybe you should all read a Shirley Hughes book this afternoon. Diane, I'm not sure. We do our we do monthly craft boxes for 10. Hello, Sylvia. Oh, from Liverpool. So we will be doing we do monthly ones, but when is Easter? It's not this month, is it? Is Easter April? Let me just have a quick look on the calendar. Easter's April, so possibly we can get an Easter box to you, Diane. Message us on Facebook. You know, a private messenger on Facebook, and that'll just jog our memory. But I'll just message Jackie. To let me know. Oh, was she? She was from West Kirby, near Liverpool. My my mother-in-law was from near the Wirral. She passed away a long time ago now, but she was from the Wirral, or roundabout from there. So, oh, from Leek. You know, Pat, when I was in the book trade 100 years ago, we used to have to do I did a lot of orders in Newcastle and Newcastle under Lyme in Stoke, and my great grandmother was from Henley, sorry, from Henley, and she used to paint pottery. That's near Leek, isn't it? Is it? Or have I got it wrong? Am I sounding foolish? Am I in the right area near Stone and all of that? I don't know. Hello, it's just you. Well, I've got loads online, but you here.
Oh, that's all right.
I've been holding on.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Oh, I'll sit here then. She says, no, I'll sit over here. I think in the place.
Well, you've got a choice of 2 spots. All you need is cartridge paper and a range of sketching pencils. If you've got graphite powder, that would be useful, and a cotton bud. But if not, a graphite stick, probably better. Hanley, that's where she was from. She was Hanley. There's a wonderful big bend, if I remember correctly, in Stone. It's a severe bend, and on the writing on the road it said dead slow, because you won't go dead slow round bend. Won't go dead slow round bend, duck. Who's that coming? Sandra's come in. Did you have a nice birthday?
I had a little birthday.
Jolly good.
You're talking about road signs. One of my favourite was
Manholes.
Yeah, when I used to go to Birmingham, there was a lot of work, they used to call them raised manholes.
Or Panley Duck Eye. I've got so yeah. That's my maternal my paternal maternal paternal side are from Hanley, as well as the West Midlands. But I love that area of Staffordshire, Accent, Stoke, and Biddulph Grange. Lovely place to visit. Really nice. Rosemary, you're missing your HB pencil. What's going on? Where have you stuck it? We're very flexible, Sylvia. Have you done classes before, haven't you, Sylvia? Or is it the free demos and whatever you've done before? Or have you done an actual class but not drawing before? Because your name seems very familiar. Right. Now we've got our full complement. There's only Sandra in real life. There's a few. Everyone's missing. Well, Sue, you're not missing because you're here online this week because you're somewhere else. But everyone else has absconded and run away. Right. So it's a very delicate scene today, and there are a few ways you could do it, but that's why, Sylvia. Okay. So it's a bit of a mishmash of everything, all pencil related today. We're not going to emboss, but I really want delicacy. This would be a really interesting one to do in watercolour at some point over the years, although I think it would be even harder to do it in watercolour because you've either got to mask it out, each of the blossoms, or paint around them. Either way, not an easy job. The masking would be the easier thing, I think, if you do it in watercolours. Even when I'm away, I'm here. Yes, that's true. You are. Right. No, I had quite a few. I remember I was up in Hanley. Oh gosh, 20 odd years ago, watching a Bon Jovi tribute at some pub. I got lost on my way home, driving back to the West Mids. Got pulled over by the police because I thought I was drunk, but I was just lost, and I kept going from one side of the road on a dual carriageway, and then I realised that was the wrong way, so I went on another lane, and then that wasn't the right way, so it looked like I was swerving, but I just couldn't tell which way I'm supposed to go home. So he guided me in the end. After being pulled over, he said, "No, you need to go straight on." You feel delicate, Jenny. It's a time for delicacy. You all right now?
Yeah, I'm getting warm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't turned that off. I only turn it on to warm the room up, but it doesn't matter. Okay. It's the black plug socket. If you could flick that up, that would be. Oh. Thank you. Perfect.
It is.
That's the right one.
The one.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, well done. You found it. Right. What I'm going to do now. This is going to be scary. I'm actually going to cover the whole page in graphite powder first before we do anything. If you haven't got graphite powder, you can just sharpen your pencil. I'm going to just tip it on. I want it quite dark. Why do you find it hard to picture me? I wasn't really wearing vintage then. Yeah, just to stop it from... Do you know what I just thought of? If the policeman was really funny, but it was like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, when I said I can't find my way home after a Bon Jovi tribute, he should have said, "Whoa, you're halfway there." But it was, I hadn't been pulled over before. I'd not been driving that long. And there was no sat-nav back then. It was scary. It is going to be messy, Diane. But no, I wasn't very vintage. I was a bit of a jeans. I always wore a shirt, but I wasn't really vintage then. I tried to conform far more in my 20s, and it's only been since I've been in my 30s and 40s that I've decided it doesn't really matter what I look like. As long as I'm happy, I enjoy wearing vintage clothes. So yes, I was actually all the time. I shop in vintage clothes on eBay. I'm already in a mess. Rosemary, my aim is to make you as filthy as possible today, because you never get filthy.
I am.
You're already good.
Yeah, and so is your table.
That's okay. Gotta clean it down. Our photocopier's gone a bit awry at the moment. It's printing off. Thankfully, when I printed off all of the sheets for this week, it was fine. But it's printing out slightly double exposure, so anything with writing on makes it look like you've got double vision, and it's really hard. So thankfully we've not really had many online orders to sort out, otherwise I don't think we'd read the address at the moment. Right, so we've got a grey paper. This is going to be the best way, I think, for us to be delicate, I reckon. Rosemary, one day I'll get you back in this class and I'm going to shove your hands in a bowl of graphite.
Sitting next to me.
Yes, yes. So we're going to ignore the flowers for a minute and we're just going to mark out. Now, I don't think, for me, a 2B pencil or HB pencil is going to be enough for you to see what I'm doing. So I think I'll go with a 3 or 4B. And if we go about a thumb width up from the bottom, and oh gosh, it's actually a whole hand length up to the top. It's probably easier for me to, yeah, about 4 fingers down from the top. There is a branch, but I'm just going to put the start of the branch there. 4 fingers down from the top, thumb width up from the bottom. And if I do it about a hand height, so this is just, we're sketching in and we're doing bits. You know, these lessons, they're going to be nice and fluid, and I don't want them to be stressful. Sue's filthy already. You see where I've put my fingerprints? I'm a mucky pup, you know. Alright, mucky pup. Yeah, if you've got, you can use an HB or a 2B, as long as you can see where you're going. But I was just conscious that if I used that, I don't think people would be able to see on the screen. And then actually there's a little offshoot there of a branch, isn't there? And there's another one. Ooh, what about 2 fingers up off there. This is just roughly gauging everything in the right place. Pat, you're very new, are you? Have you ever done anything with me before? It is Pat, isn't it? Am I talking to the right person? Pat from Leek. But have I got to be gentle with you? Because I can try. So we've actually got clusters of the blossom. I don't know what sort of blossom this is. Could it be cherry? Because there's no leaves, and cherry blossom comes before the leaves, doesn't it?
What about apple blossom?
Does apple blossom come before leaves? Because there's no leaves on these trees.
Oh, I don't know.
So, but can you have white cherry blossom? Let me have a quick look. Apple. You think it's apple blossom? See, I think it's... Oh, I don't know now. Let me show you. That's white cherry blossom. It kind of looks the same, but the blossom, the stamen is too big. Let's look at apple blossom. What was that song? Cherry pink and apple blossom white. Was that a song? An olden time song. No, you see, I don't think it looks like apple blossom either. In apple blossom time. Oh, now. No, it doesn't look like apple blossom.
Did you take the picture?
No, I didn't take the picture.
I was wondering if it was on one of your walks. So no, okay.
Because if I show you what apple blossom looks like. That's apple blossom. The leaf shape's wrong and the centre's wrong.
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's cherry.
What was cherry?
Cherry blossom. Let's go back one. White cherry blossom.
I wonder if it's scented.
But it could. I suppose it could be. I'll have a look at plum in a min. Oh, there's so many different varieties though. It could well, but you see, that's white cherry, which is.
You can't see the stamen. Oh, it might be that. Yeah, it could be that.
That's white cherry. Let me have a quick look at plum. Plum blossom. Oh, it could be plum. They're very similar. But oh, do you know what? I don't know. That's plum.
I don't know. But that's got that rim round it.
Yeah,
Hasn't it?
I think it's probably cherry. We'll go with cherry.
Yeah,
Oh, you drew a cottage in the snow. The free full day watercolour class. Excellent. And you're not bothered about being treated gently. Good. Because I'm not very good at that. I do try, but it's been such a long time since I taught kids that I just don't do that now. Right, so I'm going to get my putty eraser and I'm actually going to make a petal shape. Didn't know this was an arts and crafts class. We're going to do some animation next and make Wallace and Gromit. And I'm just going to dab it for now in one, two, three, 5, isn't there? 3.
How come you've got it small? My petals are bigger than that.
Use your edge, flatten your edge a little bit more, because mine's more like a lump of plasticine now.
It is, yeah, mine's still like a...
You might need to give it a bit of a...
My other one went hard and I can't use it.
Oh, really? This will help your dexterity. We'll do more with this, but I mean, instantly you can see it's more.
Just carry on with your lesson.
Got more of a. So by 4 o'clock, you'll have just made a blossom shape.
Once I've got this in shape, I shall want my cup of tea.
I mean, you could just sketch a leaf shape, but
I think I might have to.
This is more fun. Well, it's more fun for me watching you. So there's another one on its edge about there. So there's a few.
So this one, that's it.
So I'm using my my eraser a little bit like plasticine. And I'm just looking at the shape. And I'm going to do this for a few petals. Some of them are facing the other way. So it's just use your excuse my dirty thumbnail, by the way. I got it stuck into some wet ultramarine blue gouache this morning, and it's got wedged in my nail and it's stained it blue. I had a lovely evening last night doing a lecture in Byfield, a village nearby, on the pre-rafts. So when it's a thinner petal, I'm just squeezing it in. Now I'm aware you may not find this usual, but it's, as you can see, it is an effective way to give us the shapes that we want. And the only reason I'm doing this, and you don't have to do it this way, you can draw them. However, what I am saying is that by doing this, I haven't got the really hard pencil lines. So it keeps it fairly soft and floaty. I'll stop for a minute so you can catch up. You've really got to press down hard. However, what I will say is you only need it to give you a very, very soft shape. In real life, Sue, don't forget this is a camera, and it's cameras are built to highlight the discrepancies between light and dark. So it is actually showing more. I'll just hold this up for Sandra. Now you've got a good eye. That is a lot softer, isn't it, than what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
It's showing the shape more. Let me enlarge the screen for you in here. So mine is actually much more subtle than this. It's just that the camera's showing it off. So you just want a real hint of shape, but it's just getting to grips with the putty rubber shape. Now there's another little bud there. I'm only doing. Oh gosh, that was so sticky it nearly pulled my paper off. So I know some of you are going to hate this, but it's an interesting challenge. But what I'm going to do is this subtle shape stops me from having really harsh outlines, because I am quite a heavy-handed drawer, and I do have to do darker in order for you to see on the screen. And that's not me making an excuse. Honest, Gov. there's another. I'm only doing the ones that are in the immediate vicinity of the branch. So I'm having to make my putty rubber a little bit thin. This is really giving you some good putty rubber skills, this. Or not. Nearly time for tea, Sandra. It's not. We got half an hour, but you know.
The reason I was late was I was chatting to Sue Cummings, who's had a cataract.
Oh, how's she feeling?
Oh, Sandra, what do I do? I'm bored to tears. And this is her, and this has happened, and this has happened, and she's come home and she thinks she's going to have complete mobility and see everything.
No, it's going to take a while, isn't it?
I know, so I've just had to say stop.
Yeah, just rest.
Oh,
Yeah, she won't rest. I know. No, but maybe this would be when she's got good vision. Sue, if you not you, Sue. This is future Sue that isn't doing this class. We'll have to get her to do this class because this would be quite nice.
Oh yes, she'd be good at this. She's a precise person, right?
So you don't even have to do as many as I'm doing, but this is just something subtle. To me, it's an easier way of getting it done because you're basically printing. But I'm aware that it's very alien to anybody that hasn't really taught art at primary school. There's another little bud there, but you can stick them anywhere, really. As long as it's on your paper, obviously. Don't go shoving your putty rubber on your dining table or on your kitchen tiles or whatever. But this will become the most beautiful, delicate scene you've ever had your eyes on.
I'm finding it easier to draw the outline.
Then rub it out.
And then rub it off.
That's alright.
Because I can't get me putty rubber to do
Whatever's easiest for you. If you want to draw it very faintly and rub out, that's fine. I am going to rub out more. Oh, I got that petal the wrong way around. I got it upside down. But that's okay. This is just a little guide for me. Rosemary, I imagine this is going to be a really nice one for you. Maybe, I don't know, I'm imagining you won't like this method. I don't know. From all the years I've taught you. But I also know you're probably very happy doing your own way of working. Like Sandra in the corner.
It's very hard to be quiet up here. I'm finding it really difficult, to be honest.
Yeah, I did say before you came that this could be quite a tricky one. It's just to keep it subtle. And again, you could go right to town with this, but this is just so I know roughly where it goes. And I did put quite a lot of graphite powder on my page, so it will lift off a little bit more.
I think because I'm doing it card size, I'm not going to do any more than that.
Oh no, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna plop in my missing bit of branch with my 3B, which is about here, isn't it? And now I know where to go up to, although... How thick is that branch? It's thicker than a pencil. That's way thicker than I imagined. We were only half an hour in.
So what were you doing with this?
So I'm creating... Oh, I've just broke my pencil. I'm creating my branch a little bit thicker because my branch is nowhere near as thick.
Did you say that was a 3B?
3B, I'm going a little bit darker now. A, so you can see, but also it should help define the branches a little bit. But I'm following it in a streaky, stripy fashion. There's a few little out of focus blossoms that I might just plop in. But this isn't how it's going to stay. It's going to be a little bit more actual. But if you haven't got a putty rubber either, any sort of eraser, a decent eraser will work.
So you've got to define round your petals, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be rubbing out quite a lot. If you've got the battery operated eraser, you might find that useful, but I'm not going to do that too soon.
I know I've done a bit of a thing there, but I've moved on. There we go. I've got to use my imagination as well, I think.
Because the branches are going to sort of create the outer outer petal shapes. It's easy for me to say. Of the two main petals. How are you finding this so far? Does it make sense what I'm doing, even if it may not be working for you? That's the main thing. If you can understand what's going on, that's a huge thing.
Oh, right, there's my rubber. I've got to push it back through, I think.
Right, let me just stop for a minute. Let me use my putty rubber to rub all the graphite off my hands. No, well, I've just spotted your comment, Rosemary. The tidy lines that you like, we are going to add. This is just me giving myself a rough idea of where things are. And actually, by it not fully rubbing out the graphite underneath, what that allows is it allows us to add more eraser in a more controlled way, whether it be as an eraser pencil. Oh, where's mine gone? Where have I put that? I got one of those expensive eraser pencils. I've got my pen. I've got my eraser, my battery eraser, but I've got a really lovely. No, I've got one of them. I've got two of them. But there was also another thing that I've got. I must have put in my box. That was just a different thing I was going to show you, but I don't know if I've got it. There's my battery eraser, that's fine. Where on earth have I put that? Well, we've got the eraser pencils still back in stock. These, the eraser pencil with the brush on the end. No, this is a quite an expense. Oh, found it. It was hiding. So this is an eraser, a delicate eraser for anyone that can't work the battery eraser, because it's a little bit. These are quite expensive, but it's like a pencil, you know. But that's eraser, so you can get more precision on it. Look, if I can.
So you actually going around? Okay.
So I'm going to create some shapes now. My petal will probably change shape a little. Oh, I'll have to get my little desk eraser out in a minute. So now I've got a rough shape. Well, do you know what? If I find my eraser pencil, I've got that brush that I can just brush off. But you could use a battery operated eraser for this. So I'm just giving myself more of a defined outline. Now I know where the blossom's going to go. Is anyone absolutely hating this? What have you got, Pat? What are you using?
It creates that light, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It gives us. So some of the out of focus ones I might not do much with. Where's... I don't know where that sound was coming from. Okay, that's fine. I mean, just use what you got. I mean, I'm aware not everybody will have all of this kit, especially if you're fairly new. Now this one actually comes over in front. If it sounds like I'm at the dentist, it's just that Sandra's using her battery eraser. I'm not having root canal done while I'm teaching.
I've actually got him pinned to the ground here.
She's got a white coat on. It took her 10 minutes to get the rubber gloves on. So I'm just outlining a little bit more, but hopefully you can see. What was that rubbing out class we did a few weeks ago? What was that on? that this year, Sue, or was that last year? We did the long-tailed tit. I can't remember what we did. What rubbing out class? I'm sure we've done a few. So this is where we get the crisp lines. I will add a bit more on it. This is almost like backwards drawing, isn't it? Because we're actually drawing with an eraser rather than drawing with a pencil. What, the cottage? I think that cottage painting drawing though, Sue, it wasn't intended to be a rubbing out class. It's because none of us had any idea of what the cottage actually looked like from real life until we googled it. So it created more rubbing out, but the intention wasn't rubbing out. I had every intention from the off that this was a rubbing out class. The other one was a bonus rubbing out class. Because what's great about this is that just because you're rubbing it out, you can equally pop it back in again if you think, oh, it's too much. But I do take, I've forgotten who said it. Jenny should have put more graphite powder on. I know, it is tricky. And you don't know if it's enough or not until you do it, isn't it? And then you think, oh. The bud's just like a curly up a bit, because we're going to do the stamen and the centres and stuff later on. Well, I'm kind of adding highlights and leaving the graphite underneath. A smudgy stick, yeah, to put the shading bits back in. Yeah. You can use your smudgy stick for sure. It is tricky. That was a practice, that lesson, Sue. I was gearing you all up for this one. It is a little bit of a Trixie one. Well, it's not, is it really? It's just different because we're used to doing all of the lines in pencil, whereas this time we're using all of the lines with a rubber, just to show you that I'm not fancy, because these are about £5-6 these Tombow Mono Zero erasers. We do sell them downstairs, but I'll just show you I can do the same thing with a putty eraser. But then some of the out of focus ones I don't want to do too much with, because they're out of focus. However, we will be doing more out of focus ones. Kate, don't give up yet, because we're going to get the pencil back in a minute.
I know where you're coming from, Kate. I've got my wholehearted, I don't know where I'm going with this again. Imagination, isn't it?
Yeah, who's going to know?
Yeah, that's...
I won't tell anyone for a fee.
I'm going to send mine as a birthday card to a cousin of mine who went on what do you call it when you paint flowers? There was a lady.
Botanical.
Yeah, she went on a botanical flower painting course, and I'm going to send you this and see what she says. I shall tell her I painted it. She'll know, won't she?
This is only the first hour. You know everything comes together in the second hour.
Is that right? So what do you do with the bud? Are you not doing anything with the bud yet?
Not really, no. What I'm going to do though with my eraser is I'm just going to do a few out of focus blobby dots. You know, the really distant ones that are following the...
So I'll do this petty for each one. It's difficult without the bits in, isn't it?
I wonder if that's why we've got so many people away today.
It might be, yeah.
They must have sneaked.
Decided to go and get their cataracts done.
Must have sneaked and had a look at what I was planning.
Were you expecting any more?
No, Christine was supposed to be coming, but she couldn't make it in the end. She's coming tomorrow instead. But I knew Sue was away, but online. Liz is away from class. Robert.
Oh yeah, because Robert didn't come on Monday.
No, I think he's away for a bit.
What is this? He gone away somewhere?
I don't know.
Oh,
He might have just had meetings or stuff. I don't know.
yeah, he's more of an official capacity person
Yeah.
than us official retirees.
Yeah. He doesn't have a life of leisure like you lot.
No, there's nothing makes me want to do that any of that stuff.
Does it make you wonder how you manage to do it all the, you know?
Well, I managed to fill it in. I mean, there's one or two people I've known retired, and they're still doing stuff with commitments. That's my thing. I don't want any other than I go dog walking once a week to an elderly couple, which I adopted, and there's another couple of people in the group which we cover for each other. That's the only official capacity I have, so I can do what I want
When you want.
You know, the trouble if you go on to doing work, you know, like yourself, you do a lot of, you know, charities and what I call civil, social work, but they have commitments. I don't want those. I think I've done my commitments.
Yeah, well, I'm not on any boards or anything anymore. I've come off a lot of that.
No.
If I want to put the hours in, you know, I'm thinking of adding a couple of extra evening classes from July onwards this year.
Yeah.
But that's on my terms.
Yeah.
And on my business, and I get the benefit from that. I am now a bit tired of doing all of the boards to benefit others for nobody else to do the work for it.
Well, that's
that kind of thing.
Because my husband he couldn't say no on anything, and we were told by somebody a lot of stuff that he covered at the time. He said, if you do it, people will step back.
Yeah.
I said, and you have got to learn not to do it, and then people will come forward.
Yeah, sadly, with a lot of the things, when I stepped off doing it, nobody took over. There was with the Old Town Association, I was the chair of that for about 9 years, and then I stepped down, and then the other people in the group who've never done anything all decided. They had a meeting and they said, "Well, you know what? It's too much of a hard role, so we'll split it between us, or pay someone to do it." And I went, "Hang on a minute.
Yeah, they never
You were happy for me to do it for free, but now you're up to it. You've decided how hard it is, and you're willing to pay somebody for it." I don't think so. I said, "Shall I charge you back pay?" So don't worry. This is like basic level, and then we're gonna get in with the pencil. In fact, I might put on, if I can, the white stamen. They're very long, aren't they? But I can't see those, to be honest. No, I can't see them, so I won't bother.
Forget that one.
Forget that for now.
Thank God.
I can just do it on the ones that are open.
I really had my rubber shot out once. But I'm not surprised. Look at it. I didn't realise. It's the last time I've put a thing in.
You've got your refills about, have you?
Yeah, I've got one in, yeah. It makes it a lot different.
Good. Well, it is cup of tea o'clock. Isn't that good? So now we've got a basic foundation. We can build on this. So don't fret. We'll turn it into something. I think it's quite delicate. It's got a Chinese painting kind of feel to it.
I'm looking. I've lost one or two bits. Which
So Sandra, are you having a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
I will have a cup of tea. I've checked. There are 8 of you online. I expect to see 8 of you online when I get back and none of you have run away. Let's move these out of the way and run it down. for lemon tart.
Oh! Takes one to find one. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, well done, Barry. Yes.
So the Perks have been the only one in the class, you see.
It is the Perks, yeah. Poor old Sue. So she had it done at the weekend, and she said her doctor or her professor or whoever it was she saw told her 2 weeks you can be back driving and do this, that and the other. So she said, I'm bored to tears, I'm just doing Sudoku. I said, what are you doing Sudoku? Are you bending down while you're doing Sudoku? Of course I am. She said, I'm looking at the table. I said, you're not supposed, I said, I was told
Put your pressure.
not to go below level. So if you're reading a book, you've got to have it up high, not to bend my head. So she said, oh, so when I mopped up that spill this morning, I said, you bend down, I said, and keep your chin up. She's just not taken on board any of that. And she said, and it's a bit fuzzy at the edges. I said, well, I had an eye guard on, which I wasn't allowed to take off for month, plaster to my face. I said, so I never actually saw out of that eye for a month. I said, and have you got your eye guard on? She said, no, I wear it at night. I said, so you're wearing your eye guard in the daytime? I said, yes. I said, I was also told not to wash my hair for 3 weeks. Well, I washed my hair this morning. I said, I was told no chemicals, nothing on my face or my body for a month. And she went, oh. So I said, why don't you just have a go? See what happens.
Have a try. Bless her. But but you're very active, though, aren't you?
But this, but this is different people now. Years gone by, my pal had hers done at the Horton, in a room with everybody, go home, carry on with life.
Yes.
I've been referred to a private clinic in Coventry.
Yeah.
The treatment and everything's exemplary.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I dislocated my knee, I've dislocated it 4 times. I've got a floating kneecap.
Oh, okay.
The first time I was bandaged up, couldn't on crutches, couldn't straighten my leg, told not to put any weight on it. The second time, a different doctor said, "Oh, just carry on using it as normal. I'll put a support on it, but you keeping it motionless won't do any good." So it's amazing the difference in the way that people treat it.
Sue, no matter what qualifications your professor has or my people, it's your body. You're the one.
You'll know, yeah.
They don't know when there's a tweed and when there's not a tweed.
No.
You use your common sense because that's the only thing.
Exactly.
So what are you putting in here?
This is, what am I using? This is still my 3B. I think I might switch up a little bit. I have to treat myself to some new pencils. To a 5B. I'm starting to sketch where the stamen is. There's quite a lot of them, isn't there? And then the little bits on.
So it's the stains you put in.
Yeah. For now. It's a lovely tart, isn't it?
Just tarting it.
Because once you've sketched it, you see, you can then, where they overlap each other, use an eraser to give you a little bit of an idea of it. Have I still got you all? Or have you run away? Yeah. Because the light's coming from above almost, isn't it?
It's like when I went to Surat last night, my Surat dancing, and they keep saying, do it to the music. I think, oh my God, I've got to do it to music as well.
I used to find that difficult when I did salsa because they'd change different tracks, and I could do some, and I could count the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you know,
Yeah.
and then others, it took me half of the song to work out what the count was and what the beat was and where I was supposed to be doing, and then I had to think of my feet and my hips and.
Oh, what about where there's one in front? Well, you just can't do it in front of
No,
that, can't
you can kind of do it in front, but then you can rub out
Okay.
the line.
Okay. I'll do it. Put lines in first of all. But you've got a musical ear because you're musical, whereas I'm not.
Right.
So I don't hear because I'm often told to, do it to the beat, and I'm thinking, what beat? I haven't noticed there's a beat.
That is tricky.
It is if you're dancing with somebody.
And of course they'll be leading, won't they?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm also looking at this bud that's facing no, this one that's facing away.
Difficult to see what's coming from it.
So I'm trying to make them attach to each other now, or at least.
Yeah, I think the light is on the top, and you can see it more with these things.
Yeah. You're all very quiet online. How many times have you sworn at me today, I wonder?
You've probably all gone home now. Probably the only one here.
Well, that's the thing. It says there's 8 online, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're actually there.
They've all found something better to do.
They've got Netflix on while the Facebook live stream is, so I can't tell. Can you hear me, Mother? Yeah. So for you new people, how are you doing? I feel a bit bad because, I mean, to be honest, I don't feel it's that much of a scary lesson, but I'm sure some of you will disagree. Trying to get the inside of that bud a little bit darker where it's sort of that top bud. Swap your tea for gin. Why not? What will happen is two things. You'll either do an amazing painting, drawing, or you won't care. Either way, it's a win-win, Diane. But can you see, though, why I've forced you all to do this? No. Thanks, Sandra. So I'm only darkening the petal lines against the light. So it makes them feel a bit 3D. You could still do a fair amount, though, Pat. I know you've not got the right tools, but we can always help sort you out.
the right tools and I can't do it.
Sandra says she's got the right tools and she can't do it. So maybe it's not to do with the right tools.
Pure talent.
I don't mind if you swear at me. Because I think, as always, you'll be pleasantly surprised when you actually see the end results. May not know exactly what sort of surprise it will be. There seems to be another bit of branch that I've missed off here. There is a bit of there's a bud. Let me stick another bit of branch coming off this one.
The branch is supposed to be dark in the background, isn't it?
Yeah, because we can darken. We're going to put some branches in the background as well. Good. It is all about learning. That's the main thing. We do. I was saying to someone this morning, there was in between my classes today, there was a couple on the landing and they were admiring my paintings, and as I nipped out, and they said, "Oh, what lovely artwork," and I said, "Oh, thank you then, Mike. Oh, you're Barry," and I went, "Yes." "Oh, we can't do anything." I said, "You need to do the classes," and they were saying, "But isn't it like a higher level lesson that you teach?" And I went, "No, I have total beginners in the class, but I do push you, because if you can do what in lesson what you can do at home with your eyes shut, then there's no point in you doing a lesson. You know what I mean? You've got to push yourself, because otherwise you're never going to get any further. If you only like painting or drawing a specific type of tree, then you're never going to get anywhere else. So I do push you sometimes a little bit, but it's because I really want you to grasp. Which one? This here? Oh, that. Oh, I was talking about that. Yeah, I've just done a bit of a wavy squiggle inside the bud, but I think I've gone a bit too dark inside there.
Because I'm finding it difficult, because you can see the big one on the right.
Yes.
My bud's behind it. I'm finding it difficult to divide.
Yeah.
That, so
do outline it a little bit.
Okay.
But start off soft with an outline, and maybe use your paper stump, yeah, to give it a little bit of a shift. Because there's nothing wrong with putting in your a pencil line again.
No, I think that will be the defining thing for me.
It's just that you want the delicacy. What I was trying to avoid is big, heavy, overlined.
Which is what I am, a heavy. That's my thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll look stylised. I mean, there is nothing wrong with it, but I was just trying to go for something different for you today.
It's a bit subtlety.
Because we've done something, and it might have been a few years ago, where we shaded using a strip of paper. Do you remember doing that? Where where we used to put a paper on there, and then shaded a line.
Those things.
Yeah, or like put a piece of paper like that. I mean, we won't need it for this, but if I just brush off that, I've got a straight edge. And you can do the same with erasing. There's so many things you can do with this. I'm just going to quickly check what next week's is, and hopefully it'll be easier for you.
I'm getting into this thing.
Oh, it's buildings. It's Charlcote Park House through an archway. Then we've got Edgecote Church, and then we've got a kitten in nasturtiums. The really fun one to do is the Stone Cave face sculpture in Naples, because it's extremely characterful and cartoony. Now, what I am going to do, there are areas of these blossomy bits that are just a little bit darker in between the blossom. So now I'm going to just shade with my 5B a little bit more so it's on its side. You could use a graphite stick, but I've got a bit more control with a pencil. So I'm adding extra darks, and I don't really know what these are, but there is quite a swathe, and to me it looks more like a branch, but it's too much of a big branch that doesn't seem to go anywhere. But doing this does give you the option to bring your painting, you know, your petals forward. A little, at least. So again, we're not outlining the petal, but we're just...
You know, I could just see that thing behind the petals. Is that main one, the centre one?
Yeah.
And it's got this thing here. I can't. Are the petals going out of it? Is that
Yes,
a trumpet behind
it is. It is a bit of a trumpet behind. But you can't... It's hard to see in that one, especially the way I've drawn it. You're right, Rosemary. I know this one. She says this one's not so easy for her, but that's the whole point of doing the class. Well, it is, exactly. I mean, if you could already do it, then you wouldn't need to be here. But to be honest, I think even people who have been drawing for a while may not do certain things. You know, when you do either drawing or painting over a period of time, you do get very heavily stuck in your own way of doing things, which isn't a wrong thing particularly, but you do forget there are other ways that could probably work a little bit better for you. That's, to be honest, why I like teaching, because it means I'm constantly having to look at different ways of work. So I can't get stuck in a specific rut, because I'm teaching you lovely lot, and I can think, well, do you know what, that'll be a nice way of working with that, or this would do a thing. Are you still with us, Kate? Are you doing pastels tomorrow? It's a hare tomorrow. And I had to double check because I had a funny feeling it could have been a rabbit, but it's definitely a hare.
I thought that was on Monday.
We are. We do a hare. It's hare in pastels tomorrow, a hare in gouache for my free demo on Saturday, and a hare in pencil on. I'm having a hairy time.
I do like hares.
Well, it's also March, isn't it? And you talk about the March hares and boxing hares, and yesterday's class. Yes, you're still here. Good. And yes to pastels. Good, good, good. So I'm using this 5B to give me softer branches coming from behind and through, because we've got lots of branches. It's a tree, isn't it? That's the whole point of this. It's a tree, so we can add a few things. If you're struggling, you could use your paper stump to give you a few slightly darker branches coming through and across. If it's filthy like mine, you don't even have to use a pencil. Of the flowers. Well, I've had to sort of move a few of mine around. But, you know, you're not going to have that reference with you, are you?
No, not at all.
So nobody's going to know what it should have looked like. And they'll just think you're so good that whatever it should have looked like, you've copied it exactly.
Yeah, that's what I want my cousin to think. Botanically.
Yeah, botanical art is so hard.
Yeah. But she'll only use watercolours. She doesn't use any other medium when she does her painting.
Right.
And she's very soft and fluid, which is
Yeah.
what she's supposed to be. But she said, I can only do scenes. She said, I can't draw a building, I can't do anything else with it. So it's all sort of, scenes.
Yeah.
Which is lovely, absolutely beautiful, and technically beautiful. But what she has got, which I think is wonderful, she can look at she has no idea what the colours are, what they're called, and she can replicate a colour.
Yeah, that's a skill in itself, isn't it? Can you see by smudgy sticking those branches? I've just gone randomly around where I put white rubbed out blobs. But it's starting to look like blossoms on a tree. I might do some more close-up blossom in a minute. That's nothing at all to do with the picture. But that's where we really go into our own. So it is all about building it up, and hopefully you can see how I'm doing. How is yours going, Sue? You've got the excuse today that your internet could be bad, so you can't do it. So you can use your pencil to darken the background more. Use it on its side, so that gives you less of a scratch. Oh, very good, Sue. She said she didn't catch that because the internet's not good. And if you want to get the background shading a little darker and softer, do it in small circular motions rather than frantic, jagged tones. Because what I can do is, if I darken areas too dark, It's not an issue because I can always use an eraser to give me lighter branches, so you're almost going one way or the other. I do feel when you take a photograph of this, you'll feel a lot more surprised by how solid it looks. I mean, to be honest, the background is way darker in places than I've even attempted to use. But it doesn't scare me. I just can't see what it is or what it would be, and other than maybe a branch, I don't know. But it is, just be subtle. Still using the same 5B. I'm trying not to switch pencils and all of that too much for you. But hopefully you can see the delicacy. So I hesitate to ask because we've only got half an hour left. Are you enjoying this lesson? Are you seeing it and using it as a great way of learning and a bit of a challenge perhaps? Or are you thinking you're never going to do anything like this again? So if I do a few of those stamen here, and then I can do the hint as if there is another bit of a flower. Good. Good answer. Pat, I like you. You can come back. You can come again. You're saying all the right things.
Not necessarily the right.
I've got that much putty eraser on my finger now. If I rub across the paper, I'll lift things off. I got it stuck in my fingernail earlier on. Good. Well, that doesn't matter because it's just like yours. Now, a lot of you won't know online is that Sandra has a really clever way of working because she does all of her pieces in lessons as greeting cards. So in the watercolour class and in the drawing class, it comes pre-folded and ready to draw or paint, and then she gives them to people. And if they don't turn out, they're the ones that she gives to people she doesn't like.
I haven't bought a card.
No, and it saves you buying cards, and you can make it. You can make it a bit more unique to a specific person as well if you've got them in mind or you've got an occasion in mind.
But I don't sign any of the ones for having lessons, but the ones if I do it off my own imagination.
Yeah.
So I'm not pinching. Do you see what I mean?
No,
In fact,
no.
I often put, if I'm writing sign, as per Barry's lesson, blah blah blah. So I'm advertising you. I'm not that it means anything.
Absolutely. That's good. Let's have a look. Oh, that's lovely and delicate. That is nice.
It is a.
That's nice and soft.
Yeah,
I'm just building up lots of background bits now.
I wanted to do the centre, but I just can't work out how to do it really.
It's quite hard, that
Yeah,
the centre of
yeah.
this.
And I think my smudgy stick is not. I need a bit of. What I need to do is get a bit of stuff on the smudgy stick and really make it dirty. Just give it a bit of depth.
Oh, Kate. She says it's not as bad as she thought it was going to be. So I'm doing some thinner, wispier branches in the background with a pencil. Do you know what? When you look at what we've done, I mean, I know a lot of you may not be where I'm at, but we've created quite an in-depth, almost detailed picture in an hour and a half. When you think about it, it's got a lot of shapes and things, and I could bring more flowers in focus just by erasing a little bit more actual shapes. So it feels, I don't know if it feels like blossom. I haven't done much with strong shadows on the petals, if you notice, and I've kind of skirted around that because I don't want to make them feel like I've got bits missing. But we'll try. Let's add a few extra shadows because we've got the time. There.
I don't want to touch mine because I think I shall lose if I do anything.
Yeah, yours is really lovely.
It's not really lovely, but it's. I like the effect.
Part of me feels like I'm painting doing magnolia leaves. It's not blossom.
It could be a form of magnolia, couldn't it? It was
I saw a wonderful photo of magnolia buds, and this certain magnolia looks like birds.
Oh wow.
See if I can find it on my phone and it'll show up. There we go. Look at that. They're magnolia buds, but they look like birds sitting on a branch.
Well, look at those two at the top.
Yeah. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
They won't be long before they start coming out, will they? Because there's a
No,
magnolia.
it is almost yeah, towards magnolia.
There's a magnolia tree not far from where I live. I ought to go around there with my camera to see if I can replicate some of that. Wow. You know what? Smudgy sticking.
It was on Facebook, Pat. You must have seen it at the same time as me.
That's a little trickier. Just using my smudgy stick behind the lines.
Yeah.
And let them stand out a bit more.
Well, that's it. And you can use your smudgy stick or a pencil, and it will really bring the petals forward. It is. There's one that looks like monkeys as well. I've seen like a snapdragon.
Yeah, in your other trees, you never draw a monkey puzzle tree, do you?
It's yeah. My next door neighbour had a monkey puzzle tree. It was about 40 foot tall.
I think
Used
they're
to.
supposed to be a nuisance, aren't they? They're a bit evasive.
They are, and they're so difficult to prune and whatever because
Yeah.
it hurts. We all used to do it. Help her every summer because she was quite elderly. So we'd me, my dad, and my brother, we'd just go and try and climb up and prune it and chop it off. But it was a very big job because it was such a tall tree.
It was always my father's ambition to have one. He always wanted to have one, but my mum would never let him. Probably for those reasons.
Yeah. They are lovely to look at though, and it had cones like pine cones. See, I don't know if I like that shading.
You know what you said, you can go over it.
I can. I've not had a chance to have a look in the new cake shop that we've got in town.
Who's that?
Just a bit further down the road, bottom of Parsons Street.
I went into the Rustic Bean the first time, and now it was very nice. I was quite impressed with it.
Yeah, it's a nice place. We've got some. I know people moan that we've got a lot of coffee shops, but they're always full,
Well,
and
yeah,
they're all different. They've all got their own personality, which I really like.
I think it doesn't do the town any harm to have a coffee culture. If that's the way to bring people in.
Absolutely.
Shops
And
like
you
yours-
can't get coffee online.
No.
You know, not you can't get a hot coffee. You know, you can't get it served to you. It's the same as nail bars. You know, we've got a lot, but they're always busy, and they do bring people in.
Well, it's like the coffee culture gives the impression that you're going to have handicrafts and the sort of places like this,
Yes.
which is of an interest. So I think
I like it. I mean, we were told years ago when they pedestrianised that we'd have more of a cafe culture town, and it's taken about 10 years to make that
But they've
happen.
what they've done. I mean, they started with Parsons Street and they're building up the high street. They've made it an interesting street. They've made it quality. They've put stuff on the floor. It's
Yeah.
a nice street to walk.
It is. I think Parsons Street is one of the best streets in
My
town now.
son come and stop with me for a weekend that lives in Cambridge because they don't. Maybe once a year I see them, and he actually made time to walk round Banbury, and he was absolutely amazed on how nice it was.
Yeah, it gets a big bad reputation,
Well,
but I think people haven't seen other towns up and down the country. You know,
it
because
happened to all towns
Yeah.
when the high streets died, unless
Yeah.
you were in a, if you were York. Or
yeah, if you were a tourist place, that's different. But every town's lost a Debenhams or a Mother Care or an Early Learning. You know, all the things that we've lost. But what we have gained is independence, which makes it more unique and not like a clone town.
It's
Which
given a hole and an opportunity for people like yourself.
absolutely, I like it. I really do. And I think once people have a bit more confidence and come back, it will be really good for the town.
Oh, you've got that light on the top. I meant to do that and I've lost it.
What's that?
The light on top of the branch, because there is.
Yeah, because there's some
Yeah.
quite bright sunlight.
I suppose that's got to be dark. There we go. It's got to be dark. This here. Because I've not gone strictly to the picture.
it's just a few little bits of titivation, but all really helps to make. Because I mean, Sandra, you've been talking about botanical art and stuff. I don't have the patience to do botanical. I'm more about aesthetic stuff, really, in that I like it to look nice rather than look photorealistic. Because like with botanical art, you end up having to do a lot of all the dead bits and stuff, don't you? Because it's got to look really real. I know Jenny.
Yeah, that was it, Jenny, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jenny used to do so much with botanical. I don't know if she does. I know she does a lot of painting still, but I don't think she does much in the way of botanical anymore. It's just trying to make it a little bit sunnier and more vibrant. So Pat and Sylvia, will you be coming back? Or have I scared you off? It's a fun technique though, isn't it? I mean, you can see how you could probably use this for another delicate thing. As I was saying, if this was a watercolour lesson, we'd end up having to draw out the blossom, then cover it in masking fluid, and then put the washes of blues and greens and browns on, then peel off the masking fluid, and then add all the shading on the petals. So it's difficult in a different way. When you're working with white flowers in strong sunlight, there isn't ever really a easy way of working. I suppose the easiest ways would be pastels, gouache, or acrylics. Thank you, Pat. Good. Bless you.
I can't get the tissue out.
You're covered in.
Covered in. Sneezing too. Yes, I've enjoyed that. It's good.
Good. It is an interesting technique. I think it's you will do it next week, will you, Sue? Because it's if let me see if I can find the picture, because it does sound very buildingy, and it may well be, because I do like. I've been asked a few times for more building practice. Oh, do you know what? It is tricky. Let's see if I can show you. That's next week's class. So we're looking through an arch. So there's not a lot of perspective as such, but it's that contrast between the dark inside, the shadows, and the building there. So that's Charlcote Park. So that's a good one. And then the week after, you've got there is perspective in that, but it's all church. So that's it. I took this one. This is Edgecote Church. I just think that would be quite interesting to do. So although there's two buildings in a row, they're very different. As you know, Kate, I'll try and make it as easy and fun as we can. Oh, that's interesting, Rosemary. So it's a technique that you won't use very often, but you can definitely see occasions when it would have been useful in the past. Yes, I think that's a really valid point, that you might think, okay, it's not my favourite technique. However, I could have done with learning this or knowing this existed X amount of months ago when I was trying to do a certain project, perhaps. So I will just read through what's on telly, what classes we've got over the next week, just so you know. Tomorrow morning's pastel class is a hare. Tomorrow afternoon's watercolour class is a blue butterfly on pink blossom. Friday afternoon, watercolour snowy mountain it's a snowy stroll with a style and wintry trees. Saturday morning, live on our shop's Facebook page, is a free demo, 11 o'clock, boxing hares in gouache. Monday morning from Wardington is a hare in pencil. Monday evening's watercolour class is a landscape with a mid-distant church. Tuesday afternoon's acrylic is a snowy mountain with a cosmos sky behind it, so you know, like stars, Milky Way kind of thing. Wednesday morning's gouache class is a flower still life, and next Wednesday's drawing class is Charlcote Park House through the archway. I think you'll enjoy those. I do. I'd say that even if I didn't think you would, just to get you to come. No, that's not true. But I think challenges are good, aren't they, at times? And I think you might find, when you look back on this tomorrow, or if you take a photograph of it, oh, that's out of focus. You might think, oh, you know what? I've not done as bad as I thought, or that wasn't as scary as I first thought it was. No, we've missed you in real life, Sue. Oh, Diane, yeah, the oil workshop was really, really nice. It was a full class. We got 5 people in, and they all did outstanding, even though I think 4 out of the 5 had never even touched oil paint before. So that was really lovely. I may do more oil related things over time. So that was good. At home no one can hear you scream, that's true, Kate. So no, it's been really lovely. We've been doing so many new and different classes lately. It's been real great fun, and it keeps me on my toes. So I will take a photograph of this and post it underneath the reference image that I put up this morning, so you can see. This will probably make its way onto ArtStream at some point over this week. The other classes that we've done, the gouache class, and we did a lovely watercolour class. Thanks, Pat, of a, I don't know where to put it, of a weeping willow in really strong sunlight in watercolour. So that was this morning's gouache.
Oh, that's nice.
And then that was yesterday's acrylic. And Monday night's watercolour was a nice vibrant sunny weeping willow. So we've got loads of different things, and they're all on ArtStream already if you wanted to take them up. Runaway battery razor. It's hard to master, isn't it? Right, so thank you very much, everybody. I've had a lovely session. Thank you for your company, and we're halfway through the week. So have a good week, whatever you get up to, and maybe I'll see you at the live demo on Saturday morning at 11. So thank you, everybody. Bye bye.